Alright guys, here to talk about Season 4, Episode 13 of The Twilight Zone. So this is an interesting episode of The Twilight Zone.
Okay.
In that I'm like, what? This episode is about a dude who works in a wax museum. And this wax museum, in the wing he particularly is fond of, is of like murderers through history.
Murderer Row, whatever. Yeah.
And like you have Jack, the Ripper, who you're like, famous. And then it's like, Shmuley with the rope, and Joe Strangely with a pillow.
Yeah.
Like, these people that I'm like, are these famous?
Ivan the pillow sitter. Like,
Yeah.
Weird, like, what?
And he, like, loves this shit.
He's super into it. Because these figures are like imported. They're like the special sauce. He loves that shit.
Frandaducci.
Sommelier de Tanaradaman.
Some famous Italian wax maker made these guys, and they're famous, and he loves them so much.
He does.
So the place is going out of business, and he's like, I gotta take these home with me. I gotta preserve them. I gotta open up my own business.
Yeah.
But like, I have to put them in the basement somehow. These giant crates will fit into my basement.
It's like a sitcom basement too.
He at least had a door that led to the outside from the basement, which often they just have these like 22-foot ceilings and like one long winding staircase.
No, it was a super sitcom basement. I expected Carl Winslow to be I like, Steve, get out of here! And he's like, I'm sorry, my figures. Yeah.
So he puts them down there, but he also has to get an air conditioner.
Oh yeah.
And I like in was it this one? There was an episode recently where it showed in context that like how much a person would make in an average week, and it like made me think of like what must running the air conditioner be 24 hours a day in
his wife is like on the verge of tears. She's
it brought them to bankruptcy, but I'm like, who knows how close you are anyway.
Yeah, well, she's like, how do I tell this crazy fuck that we can't do this anymore? And he's like, I'm a crazy fuck. We have to keep doing this. Like, it's a wonderful interaction that they're having constantly. Yeah.
Did you think so it was cutting between actual people and like puppety things, right?
Okay, so right in the beginning of the episode, the wax figure blinks, and I think the lady gasping made the guy blink. He like flinched or some shit, and it's just in there. And then a lot of the other shots,
you can see them like
yes, well they're doing that, or I think it's like a still frame sometimes too.
Sometimes
just like or whatever, yeah.
But then other times I'm like, okay, that guy either is caked on with wax or something.
There's some weird thing going on
with
their
real
face.
or faker depending on the shot. And I was like, well, that's interesting enough.
Yeah, the eyes always give it away, right? There's veins in there.
I don't know what I would have liked more. So like as the episode progresses, people just start to die, and they're being killed by these puppets, wax figures. And the first time it's by like a stabbing motion, and you're like, oh, we've seen him do that motion before.
He has a badass foot activated Jack the Ripper.
I can't imagine he'd be plugged in, but he could be. Who's to say?
No, this is so long ago. It's like steam powered. It's like fucking pneumatic. Yeah.
But I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Like, it could spin from there where it's like, oh my God, no one would believe this happened. And my wife just died.
Well, and there's like a little gray area, right? Where, it's malfunctioning. I have to oil the gears. The thing must be wrong. My wife, oh no, digging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, okay.
Yes.
But then like more people start to die, and you're like, okay, well, that guy didn't have a mechanism that I know of, and that one just strangled that guy, and so on and so forth.
So like the second death, it just shows Ron Swanson for some reason is in this, and he goes, whoa, and then like you don't see anything.
Yeah.
Third death, the wax figure just goes, ha, I gotcha, and like starts to move on camera, so you totally see
at the
that.
the first time that like Ron Swanson character dies, you're like, okay, because he just goes, whoa, and like it cuts, and you're like, did he have a heart attack? Like he might have been scared just seeing this thing over him with an axe, and that could have been easily explainable and fun.
Yeah.
But the blood is on the axe, and he was killed with an axe. You're like, okay. Yeah. The puppets are alive. I keep calling them puppets. The wax figurines are alive.
Is a weird,
wax figures. These museum quality figures killed him, and you're like, okay, they're alive. He's been calling them his friends this whole time. We're gonna have a thing now where like at one time he's gonna come down there and they're gonna be conversing or something's gonna happen. No, for then it to spin out after like the choking of his best friend in quotes, who he was trying to get a loan from, do this thing.
Yeah, his
was
boss
sell them.
Is
so
the
he was
guy who
he was hurting him, and all the people that did die were in one way or another hurting him. And I was like, okay, I don't think it's gonna be that anymore. I was like, this is going to be a clever route. I was like, I think he's doing it.
Okay.
And then like the way it did turn out to be he was doing it, I didn't feel satisfied being correct.
Okay.
I felt sad. Like I was like, oh, that ended.
Okay. That's the fundamental problem.
Yeah.
If we're going to do this, and I don't even know if it was possible back in the 60s to do this, but you needed to somehow recap for me, show me him killing everyone. Yeah. And like show me the craziness.
A quick thing of like he comes down and like to the wife, what are you doing? I'm unplugging the air conditioner. We're done with this. They have to melt. I don't want it in my house anymore.
Yeah.
and so on and so forth to everyone else. I'm gonna sell them.
Yeah.
You can't sell them. I want to buy them business.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
that kind of stuff.
Just like show me some quick thing
Yeah.
of like him, like as they're like, because they all like crowd him, they kind of like approach him and say like, it was you, bitch, it was you all along. What are you, an idiot? Come on.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And so then cut to weird like him fragments of memories of like, wait, did I do it? Oh no, him like putting the knife back into like Jack the Ripper's hand, him like doing stuff, because that's what seals the deal. Because here it's just like, because like the big finale is him being in the museum now,
Which
like,
would have been
as if he's
okay.
famous enough to do like when he got home and starts talking to his wife, I'm like, she is dying, and he's gonna end up in the wax museum somehow.
Yes.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And for the whole time, I'm like, this still doesn't make sense. Why would this happen? This is crazy,
Yeah.
right? So it happened because that's what's supposed to happen. But that's for famous killers. We have to believe that these Norwegian fishermen were actually famous, though, in like the
Yeah.
killer circuit, right? Because why do they have wax figures of them? And if they're not the trapped souls of killers that people think are wax, because it's like a red violin situation.
There should have been like a red
Yeah.
book, and he finds out that
Yes.
guy who cast these actually was imprisoning the whatevers or
for
this
the
and that.
occult, and he was like, he got their remains, and he did.
I
Right?
would have also accepted
That's crazy.
that they are alive. They
Yeah.
did kill everything. He gets blamed for the murders,
Yeah.
and then like when they're doing the thing, and we have here Joe whatever, who insisted to the very end that he didn't do it, so vocally so that he has earned his place here in the Wax Museum. Oh, this poor bastard, he did it. like something like that.
and like that, to weave into that guy's speech, like he spent his life caring for the rest of these figures, and it drove him mad, and like have that be why he's
Yeah.
there. But they were just like, and now this schmuck, he's here. He killed
Yeah.
like what, 3 whole people in different ways, and like that's his pitch of like why
Yeah.
he deserves to be there with Jack the Ripper, the killer, the only like.
Well,
like,
the problem is that Jack shouldn't even have been there. Is when you have like
it throws
Schmo
off the
3,
balance, you're
Schmo
saying?
4,
Okay.
like if it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like local murderers, like
Right.
that's a weird thing to have in a museum. Times are tough. Like that would have been something.
No one cares about your stupid murderers. You should have Jack the Ripper in there. And he's like, Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Some weird thing like that.
I don't know. It just felt weird. I liked the episode. I liked a lot of the actors. I thought things
Okay.
were fun in it, but I thought it like ended in such an unsatisfying way where I was like,
Yeah.
what is even happening here?
I didn't love it. I liked Ron Swanson a lot because he came off very Ron Swanson-y to me.
Uh-huh.
It looked like there was one scene where he's like, very shrewd, and like touches his head, and I was like, this looks like it was filmed and you put like an effect on it, and it's like a Ron Swanson comedian from today making fun of guys from that time period. It's like perfect. He has like a cigarette in his little beard, like, yes, doing his, it's amazing.
The thing that I liked was he was like, why are your doors locked? Why is this door locked? Blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Locking doors in your house? Let me in there right now. You're in my house. Get out of my house. I can lock whatever door I want.
What are you
Get
trying
out
to
of
hand me? What are you doing?
I never
He's
heard of
like,
your sister.
What are you doing? Yeah.
So?
It's great.
And he did murder his sister. So, like, he was right. But I
Yes.
thought he was very pushy.
He was very pushy.
Yeah.
I liked his character a lot. The other people I thought were like, okay. Super Creep was
Yeah.
all right. Fake Hank Azaria guy.
Felt bad for the wife.
whatever. Yes. That was going to be my original joke.
She was very rational.
Was like, the minute I saw her, I'm like, she's going to get killed and waxed somehow or whatever. And then my joke was going to be like, for no reason that I
Yeah.
thought. I'm just like, you're dead, though I can
She
just
was
smell
the
it on
exact
you.
opposite of
Yeah.
the guy who liked to read's wife. Where, like, it's like,
Yes.
yeah, she was pretty supportive to the point where it's crippling the family. And now she
Yes.
says, you have to stop.
She was like
We
letting him
can't have
figure
this,
it out
yeah.
on his own, and like, hey, I'm not gonna dictate to you how to live. But then she's finally like, how are we gonna do this? And like the whole thing.
I
Yes.
can't imagine like how he was normally though. He seemed
Oh,
like
yeah.
he was always a nut job. That I'm like, how are you in a normal social relationship?
No, he must have been like, well, because that's part of it too. You have a full hour. Show me him, eating breakfast that day, so I can tell how much of a creep he's being.
Yes.
now.
How much has he
'Cause-
changed? A direct swing.
Yeah, because she just goes to her brother and other people. Like he's gone crazy, and I'm like,
Yeah, like when the business is
Yeah.
closed, he can't be next to the figure, so he's not obsessing with them. But when he can
Yes.
spend all his time with them, he does.
Yes.
I don't know. Fuck this episode.
I didn't like this episode very much. I could take this or leave this, and it has no weird like. Do you remember that time when it was like aliens, but a cookbook? Like there's
Yeah.
no quick thing.
It's not
where I'm
legendary.
like,
This isn't
yeah.
what you're gonna say.